You know the dogs we're talking about. The beagle that follows a scent into another dimension, ignoring your desperate calls. The Siberian husky that stares you down and literally argues when you give a command. The tiny, regal Shiba Inu with the ego of a lion. People call these dogs impossible to train. They use words like stubborn, defiant, and just plain disobedient. And if you've ever loved one, you've definitely had moments where you've thrown your hands up in despair and wondered if they'll ever listen. But what if impossible is just a misunderstanding? What if that stubbornness is actually a flashing sign of profound intelligence? Think of it like this. Some employees will follow any order they're given, no questions asked. Others, the brilliant innovators, will question a bad strategy because they see a better way. These dogs are the innovators. Research and history show that some of the most intelligent, problem-solving breeds are the most challenging to train in a traditional sense. These aren't disobedient dogs. They are independent thinkers, meticulously bred for centuries to make their own decisions in the field, far from any human. Today, we're counting down the 7 breeds that will test your patience to its absolute limit. But we're not just highlighting the problem, we're giving you the keys. We'll dive into the history and the science of why these dogs are the way they are, revealing how to understand their unique mindset. Because the truth is, no dog is untrainable. You just need to learn to speak their language. Coming in at number 7 is a true gentle giant with a will of iron, the bull mastiff. These massive, muscular dogs are adored for their affectionate nature with family, but they are equally known for a quiet, unshakable stubbornness that can baffle their owners. You'll ask them to do something and they'll just look at you, not with defiance, but with a calm, thoughtful expression that says, "I'll consider your request and get back to you." This isn't stubbornness for its own sake, it's a feature, not a bug. The bull mastiff was developed in 19th century England as the gamekeeper's night dog, tasked with guarding large estates. Their job was to work like a silent, heavyweight security guard, tracking poachers on their own, knocking them down, and holding them there. This role required a dog that could think for itself and act with quiet confidence. That independent DNA is still very much alive today. They aren't wired for repetitive drills. To them, it's like asking a chess grandmaster to play tic-tac-toe 100 times. They see it as pointless. So, how do you train a dog that quietly resists? The key is to start early and establish yourself as a firm, consistent partner. Because of their size and strength, training and boundaries must be established when they are puppies. A 130-pound adult who has never learned the rules is a formidable challenge. Use positive reinforcement, but project an aura of calm, confident leadership. They need to see you as a partner worth listening to, not a drill sergeant barking orders. Keep training sessions short and purposeful, because they find endless repetition insulting to their intelligence. With a bull mastiff, you're not just a trainer, you're a respected leader, guiding a powerful, intelligent, and deeply loyal partner. At number 6, we have the undisputed king of selective hearing, the basset hound. With their mournful eyes, long, drooping ears, and comically short legs, they look docile and easygoing, and they are, until their nose detects something more interesting than you. In that single instant, it's like their brain's GPS has locked on to a new destination, and your voice just becomes static. You can call their name, wave their favorite steak, or set off fireworks. It doesn't matter. They are on a mission, completely under the spell of one of the most powerful noses in the canine world. The frustration is understandable, but it comes from a deep-seated purpose. Basset hounds were bred in France and Belgium to be elite scent hounds, trailing game like rabbits so hunters on foot could follow. Their entire being was engineered to lock onto a scent and follow it relentlessly, tuning out all other distractions. That singular focus isn't a flaw, it's their masterpiece. When they ignore your frantic come command, it's not disobedience, it's their entire genetic history screaming that the scent is the only thing that matters. The solution is to work with that incredible nose, not against it. Trying to fight it is like trying to teach a fish to fly. Instead, teach it to swim better. Turn training into a scent-based game. Instead of a simple sit, make them find the treat. Use their desire to sniff as the reward itself. Because they are exceptionally food-motivated, high-value, fragrant treats are your secret weapon. But more than anything, training a basset requires a level of patience bordering on sainthood. They will test your limits with those soulful, manipulative eyes. Your job is to remain calm, keep sessions fun, and prove that you are more persistent and more interesting than the amazing smell wafting in from next door. Our number 5 spot goes to a breed that is regal, ancient, and often profoundly misunderstood, the Chow Chow. With their regal, lion-like mane and dignified, aloof presence, Chows carry an air of nobility. Many owners describe their relationship not as owner and pet, but as being housemate to a very furry, very particular roommate who pays rent in loyalty. They are fiercely devoted to their chosen family, but can be reserved and wary with strangers, viewing them with quiet suspicion. The difficulty in training a Chow stems from this deep-seated independence. Originating in China, they were bred for a variety of roles, including guarding, hunting, and pulling, all of which required self-reliance. They are not naturally wired to be eager to please. A Chow is intelligent, but it uses that intelligence to serve its own interests. Trying to force a Chow to obey is like trying to win an argument with a monarch by yelling. It will backfire spectacularly. A Chow Chow that feels disrespected will simply shut down or become reactive. They don't see you as their master, they see you as a partner, and that respect must be earned. To succeed with a Chow Chow, you must use a gentle, patient, and positive approach, rooted in mutual respect. Early and extensive socialization is non-negotiable to temper their natural wariness and protective instincts. Keep training sessions short and engaging. Your goal is not to force obedience, but to build such a strong bond of trust that they choose to cooperate. You have to convince them that listening to you is their own brilliant idea. Once a Chow respects you as a calm, confident leader, they become an unbelievably loyal and steadfast companion. Halfway through our list, are you recognizing your own wonderfully stubborn dog in these descriptions? If you're fascinated by what makes these breeds tick and want more deep dives into dog psychology and training, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have so much more to share to help you build an incredible bond with your dog. Now, on to our top 4. Coming in at number 4 is the barkless dog from Africa, the Basenji. But don't let barkless fool you into thinking they're silent. These dogs communicate through an array of unique yodels, chortles, and whines. The Basenji is often described as cat-like for good reason. They are meticulously clean, fiercely independent, and often watch the world with a cool, calculating aloofness. The training challenge with the Basenji lies in their ancient, primitive nature. Hailing from Central Africa, they were used by hunters to silently flush small game into nets. This history has produced a dog that is like a gifted child stuck in a boring class. They don't lack intelligence, they lack stimulation, and they will quickly invent their own fun, which often looks like trouble. Trying to drill a Basenji with the same sit, stay, come routine is a recipe for mutual frustration. They will become disinterested and might just express their displeasure with a signature yodel before finding something better to do. The key to training a Basenji is creativity. You must make training feel like a puzzle to be solved, not a chore to be endured. Ditch the boring drills for activities like lure coursing or agility that tap into their natural instincts. Training sessions must be short and dynamic to keep their clever minds engaged. Because of their intense prey drive, they should rarely be trusted off-leash in an unsecured area. A Basenji's intelligence is a powerful tool. If you don't give them a job, they will invent one for themselves, and that job often involves the creative destruction of your sofa or scaling your bookshelves to survey their kingdom. At number 3, we have the true aristocrat of the dog world, the majestic and breathtakingly elegant Afghan hound. With their long, flowing coat and regal posture, They are a stunning sight to behold. They are also famously, almost infuriatingly difficult to train. The issue is not that they don't understand you. It's that they often don't see why your request should take precedence. It's like asking a CEO to stop a board meeting to help you find your lost keys. They simply have a more important agenda. This breed's legendary independence is a direct product of its history. Afghan hounds are an ancient sighthound, bred over thousands of years to hunt large prey across the harsh terrain of Afghanistan. This work demanded incredible self-reliance, requiring them to pursue prey at high speed without any human direction. This deep-rooted autonomy means they do not naturally look to humans for commands. They are often described as having a cat-like personality, aloof, dignified, and valuing their personal space. Training an Afghan hound is an exercise in immense patience and building a deep, trust-based bond. They are incredibly sensitive souls. Trying to force them is like trying to grab smoke. The harder you squeeze, the faster it vanishes. Only positive reinforcement has a chance of working. Because they are bored to tears by repetition, training sessions need to be short, dynamic, and fun. You must earn their respect before they will willingly cooperate. If you can prove yourself to be a worthy partner, you'll discover a loyal, sensitive, and surprisingly playful companion beneath that regal exterior. Section 6. Breed number 2. Shiba Inu. Our runner-up for the most impossible to train is the internet's favorite doge, the Shiba Inu. With their fox-like face and charming curly tail, they are undeniably cute, but behind that exterior lies a fiery personality with a will of pure steel. Shiba owners often joke that you don't own a Shiba, you are merely permitted to live with one and pay the bills. The Shiba Inu's stubbornness is legendary, and it's deeply ingrained in their history as one of Japan's oldest native breeds. They were originally used for hunting small game in dense mountain undergrowth, a job that required independence and a potent prey drive. This has resulted in a dog that is fiercely independent and not inclined to obey just for the sake of it. They have a strong sense of fairness and will hold a grudge. Think of them as a business partner with a perfect mental ledger. They remember every perceived slight and broken promise. The secret to training a Shiba is to embrace their personality, not fight it. Patience and absolute consistency are paramount. Training sessions must be short, fun, and packed with high-value rewards because you have to be more entertaining than everything else happening around them. Positive reinforcement is the only way, as they will not respond to being forced. A strong bond based on mutual trust is critical. You have to make them want to work with you, and even then, be prepared for them to test every single boundary. A well-trained Shiba is a testament to an owner's unwavering dedication, but the reward is a loyal, clean, and endlessly entertaining companion whose personality is far bigger than their small frame. And now, taking the #1 spot, the breed that has become synonymous with the word stubborn, the magnificent Siberian Husky. These dogs are brilliant, athletic, and breathtakingly beautiful. They are also famous for their dramatic vocalizations and their Houdini-like ability to escape from almost any enclosure. The reason Huskies are so notoriously difficult to train is because they were bred not to listen. They were developed by the Chukchi people in Siberia to pull sleds over vast frozen landscapes. This job required them to think independently and even disobey a human's command if it meant avoiding danger like thin ice. Think of the human as an autopilot system and the husky as the expert pilot. The pilot is trained to take manual control and ignore the system if they see a mountain right ahead. That instinct is the core of their being. They don't see your command as a rule, they see it as a suggestion, which they will calmly evaluate. Training a husky requires a complete shift in mindset. You cannot expect the eager-to-please nature of a golden retriever. You must keep training sessions incredibly short and engaging, no more than 5 to 10 minutes to combat their famous boredom. High-value rewards and enthusiastic positive reinforcement are a must, but the single most important factor is meeting their intense need for exercise. A bored, under-exercised husky is like a high-energy device with a full battery. It can't focus until that energy is drained. You must tire them out physically before you even attempt to engage them mentally. Working with a husky is like raising a brilliant athletic toddler. It requires endless patience, a great sense of humor, and a deep understanding that you are leading a partner, not commanding a subordinate. So, are these 7 breeds truly impossible to train? As we've seen, that word is a complete misnomer. These are not bad dogs. They aren't dumb dogs. In fact, it is their high intelligence and the very jobs they were masterfully bred for that make them such independent, free-thinking animals. The common thread is that training them isn't like programming a computer. It's like learning to dance with a gifted partner. You can't just lead and expect them to follow. You have to learn their rhythm, anticipate their moves, and build a connection where you move together as one. You cannot force them to comply. You have to partner with them, turning training into a collaboration built on mutual respect. It's a challenge, absolutely, but the reward is a profound bond with a truly remarkable and intelligent canine companion who sees you not just as an owner, but as an equal. What do you think? Do you share your life with one of these breeds? Did we miss any? Let us know your training stories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the canine mind, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.